Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching The Umbrella Academy. This episode 4, season 3. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed the first 3 episodes. So very interesting. We're obviously in a new timeline. This is the grandfather paradox. You know, with an interesting introduction to kind of explain what that is in the last episode. It was pretty much the story that they told was there was a person who hated the grandfather. They decided to jump back in time and to kill him. So obviously, they didn't have to deal with him in the present. But by going back in time and killing him, he killed him before he had his kid. So his kid couldn't have the kid that killed him. So how did the person go back in time to kill the grandfather when he never existed in the first place? Ultimately creating the grandfather paradox. Hopefully guys have been following that because it was pretty confusing, but it also makes total sense if you actually do manage to follow along. So this is what they're trying to figure out in this timeline. How are these people alive if the parents died before the date that these, you know, the Umbrellas was born? Now obviously all this is going on while obviously the Sparrows are still wanting to get Malcolm back. They decided to have a meeting, you know. Victor and Alison, they went over and they were discussing with Ben, and they said, look mate, we've got Malcolm, you've got the briefcase, you want to do a swap, we'll do it, we'll give you your number 1, you give us a briefcase, we'll be on our merry way. Ben said fine, deal, we'll get it. Now obviously he doesn't have the briefcase, he don't even have a clue what they're talking about, and they don't have Malcolm clearly because they know, as Victor was saying, he's been swallowed into the fireballs pretty much. So now it's really interesting because they've gone down into the basement to try and look for this case. They've seen the mum there, she's talking, she's doing all this ritual stuff, she's got text all over the floor, she's saying that this is like God, you know, it hits his plan, and she said she wouldn't go over and she wouldn't touch it because that's what number 1 did, and you know, it took him, it sacrificed him. And it's really interesting because obviously then later on they've gone back and they've gone to try and fight you know, the Umbrella Academy inside the Oblivion Hotel, and really interesting that it was saved by what looks like Harlan, I believe is Sissy's son, now into the future. Last time we seen him was a little kid, now he's here and he's helped the Umbrella Academy against the Sparrows, hit them with a blast. Looks like 2 of them may have died. The one, Salone, that is kind of like, you know, enjoying a little relationship with Luther, has been knocked out by him. He jumped on her to try and save her before the blast hit her. And Ben and the one with the glasses and the Sparrows managed to get away with the cube as well. But the other 2, the one that you punch and obviously it hurts yourself, and the one that like spits the venom, they seem to get took out. So really interesting. This obviously thing that's swallowing stuff into itself, that is taking humans now. In the first 3 episodes it was just animals, and now humans have been pulled in too. So again, very interesting what's happening there. It's definitely got to be something with the paradox. Them obviously coming into this timeline has caused this disruption. Now again, what I think is really interesting is Klaus went to see Reginald to ask him, did he kill his parents? You know, he wanted to get that answer, and he found that Reginald was kind of being bullied by the Sparrows. He was making him take pills, and obviously it's totally different to the Reginald that we see in their current timeline. Well, the Umbrellas, you know, he seems to be in charge, control the dad, he has the authority, he's the power figure, he's the one that's obviously making all these calls. You've seen it last season, he was like round the table with loads of people, and he's got obviously a real strong reputation. But here he's kind of low down, you could tell it was in the pecking order when Malcolm was bossing him around. So it's really interesting to see, and Klaus told him like a little way to hide some of the, you know, like some of the pills like in his cheeks and pretend that he's took them when obviously he hasn't. So it's going to be interesting what obviously what storyline he plays. But again, you know, I'm really interested with this Harlan one. He's come and he saved them. Lila and Five, they worked together to combine the powers. She mimicked his jump and he ended up going to the commission right at the end of the episode, and then obviously they're trying to go to Herb and see what is actually going on. So really interesting. Can't wait for today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump in to episode 4 season 3 of The Umbrella Academy. Wait, what's this kid then? Oh. '89. They started in '63, did they? He's well old now. I'm assuming he listens to music to calm himself then. Yeah, look at them, well dead.
You, upstairs, now!
See, right, Diego will want to be... it'd be interesting to see Klaus's reaction now, but Diego will want to be a dad that he feels like he's never had. That's what everybody wants to do, don't they? Once you become a dad, you want your kid to have a better life than you did.
Did Victor go full Carrie again?
We didn't do this.
That's the kid Victor saved in Dallas.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Sloan?
She don't know who done it, does she? She thinks it was them.
Holy shit. I was just here.
It was. It was the
Everybody
commission.
gone?
Do you reckon she's got a plan or what? Like, I always feel like she tries to deceive everyone.
What are you doing?
Did you set me up?
No, I would never do that. I would. You can let her go now. If you hurt her, I will bury you.
You gonna bury me too, Luther? She's gonna talk.
Yeah, because I heard a rumour. You're going to tell us everything. Do you reckon that's what he hears constantly?
You haven't aged.
It's only been 3 days for me.
Ever since that day at the lake.
What does it feel like?
Tuning fork in my head. Sometimes I slip. I wasn't made for this. Power. I can't control it.
I'm here now, okay? I'm gonna make this right.
How?
That was really interesting. Do you remember when she gave him mouth to mouth and then the particles went inside of him? That kind of reminded me of the stuff that was on the train in the first episode when he was telling us a story of how all them women got pregnant at the same time. It was like an orange mist come out the vents in the train, didn't it? And it went into that girl. I don't know, did it go into her back or into her mouth? I can't remember how it actually went in. And a couple of seconds later, that's how they all become pregnant. Now, I know that he said they're connected, but like, it actually is really interesting that, and like it was referenced last episode or something by somebody, like it's only been like 1 day. Oh yeah, you know, Lila, she was saying to obviously Diego, yeah, he's 12, and he's like, what? How's that happened, mate? It's been like 3 days, but like, would have been 2 or something, wouldn't it? And she's like, mate, it's been 12 years for me, and like it's interesting there, obviously for him. Did that story go from 1963 all the way up until 1989 when she died? So. Do you know what I mean? And now, obviously, they're even further into the future. So, for him, it's been like 30, 40 years. And for her, it's been 3 days. So, it's crazy.
I heard a rumor.
There we go.
You're gonna tell me the truth.
Where's the briefcase?
Why is she so reluctant? It's because she don't know.
The hell is it?
Where is it?
That's enough! Did you just get the hell out of here?
Tell me what to do now.
All of you, just get out!
Pretty good acting from Stallone, to be honest. It looked like she was well struggling then.
I heard a rumor that you were happy.
She has to hypnotise herself to be happy. Like, how sad is that? Oh, is she going to cut her hair? Oh, we're going to get a Victor haircut and we're going to... Oh, hers is not that bad.
Victor, what do we do now? What's our next move?
We can talk later, okay?
No, not okay.
Later, please.
You walked us into a slaughter.
You were both right there with me. This is as much your fault as mine.
You don't have what it takes. Marcus would have never
He's gone. What have I missed? Sounds juicy. What happened?
Those assholes from the Umbrella Academy.
After Marcus disappeared, Ben led us on a mission to take them down.
They had some kind of secret weapon. This old guy with powers.
So what do you intend to do about it?
We need to be ready if they come to finish us off. What is your next genius idea, guy?
There is still a way to turn this to your favor.
You're gonna clean up every square inch of this.
How?
Most of this wasn't even my fault. And you're just mad that you got your ass kicked by a floating cube.
That's it. You're grown.
What the hell is this?
Your punishment. You're gonna clean every room on Chet's list to pay for this shit, okay?
Wow.
Your Uncle Klaus is gonna watch over you.
What?
While you do it.
Oh, why can't you do it?
Because I have to babysit Luther in case Allison pops up.
That's good.
There's been a rip in the space-time continuum. It's swallowing everything. This is the end.
Instead of the universe expanding, it's now collapsing in on itself.
Like a prolapsing rectum.
It's a weird analogy, but unlikely case of the grandfather paradox, the founder, and any essential personnel.
Immediately remanded to the operations bunker.
I hate your family.
I'm not a super fan of yours right now.
You attacked us.
I tried
tried to warn you.
Yeah, at the last second.
Your stupid family's fine and half of mine is dead.
1 second, before we jump into that, that's like me, yeah, coming up to your house with my crew, coming to try and kill you, and then you get the jump on us and you beat us, and then me running away, complaining, like, oh, you've just killed us. It's like, well, yeah, we did, yeah, because we was here chilling, and you come to kill me first. That's literally what she said. We come to attack you, but we lost, and now you killed us, and I'm fuming.
Were you just using me?
Oh, you need to know something about me. I don't really have any friends. I just have my family. And I would do anything to protect them, except betray you. We have to trust each other, because we're not our families.
Pretty good, that, actually, from Luther. What's funny is everything she was complaining about there, she done to him. She was trying to use him at first in his house, in her house, and then they did try and kill him. They went to attack.
He once gave me 6 months laundry duty. 6 months? Just for pawning one of his stupid priceless artifacts from Mexico. You know, a lot of the stuff I was doing wasn't even illegal at the time.
Half the time I was just trying to piss off my dad.
Oppositional defiant disorder.
Huh?
At least that's what my shrink calls it.
Ding dong, who's at the door? Me. I have the, wow. Ben is your dead uncle, who's alive in this timeline, but he's dead to me. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Put it back. All of it, please. Yes,
I
yes.
thought you were supposed to be the fun uncle.
Look at him, he's well confused with himself.
All right, you can keep the panties.
Well, we seen him just take everything.
I can't let you go.
Yeah, you can't leave.
I don't want to let you go either.
I can't let you leave. You're a hostage.
What
Guess
should we
just
do?
Go back to fighting until everybody's dead.
We could put an end to this and still be together.
What I want to know, actually, I'm actually intrigued by, is this Harlan, yo? Like, why is he in the storyline? So far, you know, he saved him, but he hasn't explained it. Unless he was the cause of the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless it was him exploding this time, you know, it was Victor. He's done it twice already. It might be Harlan, mate. He might have been the one that exploded and caused, obviously, the downfall, the commission, and obviously now he's come here to obviously warn them of that's going to happen. So maybe they could do a jump in the past and obviously try and stop it. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out what his role's got to play.
Your sister called you Victor. Is that what I should call you?
You know, your mom's a big part of who I am.
She said you saved her life.
Did she have a good life?
She was free. In a way she never was on the farm. She never stopped thinking about you.
I should have stayed.
Meeting in the pool room. Family only.
White buffalo.
I could pick the lock.
All right, keep a watch out for me, Grasshopper.
You want to let her go after attacking us?
I lost 2 of my siblings to you and your murder troll.
Again, Harlan not with us.
Yeah, well, he's not with us. He could take your bet, since you're sleeping with the enemy.
I trust her.
Trusted emails from a Nigerian prince. Tunde is not a prince. He was justly deposed.
Do whatever the hell you want to do, Luther. That's on you. I've got bigger shit to deal with.
Who do you reckon's going to be in this?
I was out. I was done. And yet here I am, swept back into the chaos. I want retirement.
Yeah, right. What, a normal life, groceries and taxes. You would die of boredom.
Why are you smiling, you little piss pot?
Because of that.
Operations bunker. Who's in there? Someone's going to be...
You know, you're way more fun these days. Telling off Luther and melting Sloane's brain. You're always the nice one of us.
Getting stuck in the past without Claire. Leaving Ray, thinking she'd be waiting for me in the future.
Yeah,
only
there.
to discover that she doesn't exist in the present. Could do that to a person.
You know I'm a great therapist.
He's been in therapy,
Dr.
hasn't
Fuego.
No one knows.
Your shit sounds badass.
he? It does sound pretty good.
I know we all got stuck in Dallas. I don't think some of the others really understand what it was like for me, you know?
We made it back, right?
Yeah, and for what? Ray and Claire were the 2 things keeping me together, and just like that, they're gone, and I'm so angry. I don't know where to put any of it.
Kicking assholes in their assholes is like therapy. People in there hate people like us.
Just go for a scrap instead.
You can go in there. And we make damn sure we finish it.
I could really use another drink.
Diego's low-key one of the best ones. She has been through a lot though, hasn't she? You know, she's lost Ray and lost a kid as well. You know what I mean? It's mad.
We want the old man too.
What are you doing?
You wanted him
That's the man who killed our siblings, and this will all be over. If not...
You know what? He counted it pretty good, you know. That old man's not with him. Well, if he's not with him, mate, not asked about him, are they? Just get him, bring him, jobs are good in, all done. They killed our family, we'll just kill him. No association with you. You don't care, do you? That's pretty much what he was saying. So it's kind of like decent, really, in that perspective of it. But that's obviously not going to happen. I think it's interesting that, I don't know, like most of them have been killed and none of the Umbrellas have. I don't want them to. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want them to. But like, some of them have got to get pretty hurt a little bit just to make it, you know what I mean? If it's a academy versus academy, you want a couple of deaths and a couple of people injured. So like, I do want some people from the Umbrella Academy to get, I don't know, like defeated, couple of like, I don't know, cuts and scratches and broken arms or something. Not out the show like, but just a couple of repercussions for stuff that's obviously happening to them. Just a good retaliation.
We're screwed.
He can't be the one that's wrote it, can he? He's meeting his own doppelganger in face-to-face reality time.
Expecting more man, unless... Cam, what's wrong?
It's me.
So this whole time you've been complaining about the commission, and you're the one who founded it. You literally cannot breathe without this place.
Something's not right.
The operations bunker is paradox proof. This of all permutations of yourself that exist. KUGELBLITZ.
What kind of black hole?
The kind that can suck up entire timelines.
How do we fix it?
You don't.
If you created all of this, then you must have created a solution.
Oblivion.
What do you mean?
It's KUGELBLITZ. It is not some tiny leak grinding up the universe and consuming it whole.
Don't save the world.
What? Don't say do it. He's dead now. How did he come out of that machine? Like, how did the machine open up? Do you not think it's mad how a machine like that can keep you alive? Just lay there.
What's this?
Is that kind of what Klaus has on his... Yeah.
Looks like freaking Indiana Jones in here.
Can shoot him with that arrow.
Man, gotta go see a man about a buffalo.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh, mate. I did not expect that. I mean, the guy's dead. He's got to be dead. Now, this show can dive back in time. So, like, obviously we could just go from the present back into the timeline to a different sort of like, a different year, and then Klaus will be alive again. But like here right now, I mean, how's he surviving that? Like, and so obvious he was getting shot. Like, so obvious he was getting shot. First of all, we need to know whose room that actually is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got to play some sort of significance. Is it Reginald's? Do you know what I mean? Like, the door, did it have a sheep or a cow or what, a bull? I can't remember what it had in it. It had a thing, and then they've obviously picked it and gone in. It's got it on the water. He's just been... That's a ruthless, mate. He didn't even stick in him. It just right through him. Just literally a boom. I like how his room had a do not disturb sign on it. Oh, what's the matter with him?
What's wrong?
Why do you have these?
Why?
Oh, look at this. That's mad, that. How many people did he kill in that blast then? He must have killed thousands, honestly.
You caused all of this?
I mean, that doesn't surprise me though, does it? Like, I think we called that earlier on in the episode when we was trying to figure out what was going on, didn't we? We said that maybe he's caused the apocalypse, The first two seasons, it was Elliot, Victor, and now, obviously, it's this guy. And, that's what it's called, a KUGELBLITZ. You know, I'll definitely forget about it. The only reason why I've just remembered it is because it's right there. And I remembered the sound of it because he said it was German. So, like, it's the KUGELBLITZ that is destroying the whole world. It's sucking everything in, you know, instead of, like, you know, the creation sort of thing, or the expansion. Now it's pulling it all together. It's pulling everything into the center and it's destroying it. Now, what's really interesting is, like I said, Harlan has caused the apocalypse, it looks like. He is the reason why all their parents have died. But that still doesn't answer the question that if he's killed them, then how have they been born? You know, because following the story that Five was trying to explain to us last episode at the start, he was saying that their mothers died before these people was technically, you know, alive. So that way, it wouldn't make sense. That's the grandfather paradox. It doesn't make sense. The guy went back in time to kill his grandfather, which prevented his mum from being born, which prevented him from being born, which then didn't make any sense, because then how was he alive to go back and kill his grandfather? And that is how we are here. We're trying to figure that out. You know, if the parents had died, how are they alive? But it looks like Klaus has died and Stan's killed him. And a big massive spear or whatever, mate, just went right through him. Literally right through me. Had a piercing hole right there and he was dropped, mate, on the floor. So it's going to be mad to see, obviously, what we do with that. Like, I mean, like I said, we can go back in time and then just continue on with the story, you know, in a different timeline. But, like, here in the present, like, I mean, surely he's not surviving that. That's really interesting, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. So it was confirmed that Harlan was Sissy's kid, obviously, that we've seen. And when we did watch season 2, he didn't really speak much, did he? Now, obviously, we got a little story, you know, the story of his life at the very start. And it was obviously the progression, obviously, the way through it. And him and his mum having to change cities all the time because of him kind of, like, losing control of his powers and kind of, like, exploding. Now, obviously, we fast-forwarded, like, 20, 30 years when she actually died. And, obviously, that death from her caused him to get well upset and explode. Now, we've just been confirmed at the very end of the episode, you know, so that was the start, and we finished at the end with the same story. And they tied it in by saying, basically, when his mum died, when Sissy died, he caused the effects, the ripple, which obviously killed all of the Umbrella's parents. Now, interesting thing is, in the timeline where he exploded, that killed obviously all of these people, he had a memory of Victor already, so he knew Victor was a person. Sissy knew Victor was a person. He explained to him that his mum always spoke about her, you know, and said that she saved her life, so to speak. So this is what you got to try and get your head around, you know, like in the moment that, basically, we'll just use Victor for his example, not all the Umbrellas. In the moment that Victor's mum died, yeah, Victor had already been alive in Sissy's life 20 years, 30 years prior. So then how does that make any sense? Because we've been told that Victor's mum died before Victor was born. But in the timeline where she died, Victor was alive 30 years before her mum was killed. Mental. When you look at it like that, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, and that is why it's so confusing. But like, if you're following it, it's not confusing as if to say, mate, I have no clue what's going on. It's like confusing as to say, like, how are you going to tie it in? Like, how are you going to come full circle and make it make sense? You know, make it make sense. Literally, that's what we're waiting for. Now, they've given Salome back, obviously, to the Sparrows, and they've changed the deal. You know, at first, they was trying to convince them that, you know, we didn't really take Salome. We don't even know who Harlan is. He don't even work for us. You know, he come in, he saved us. Luckily, you know, sadly, 2 of your family members died, but nothing to do with us. Well, if nothing to do with you, then you just hand them over. You know, hand him over, it's all good. You know, you go on, we go on. We've got the person that's killed our family. Well, that's obviously not going to happen, because as Diego was saying, mate, the guy saved our ass. So, you know, if he wants to be, he's on our side. Now, it's deep that, you know, it's deep that she, I totally forgot her name now. Alison, that's it. It's deep that Alison has to, I heard a rumour herself, to try and make her feel happy, you know, because obviously she's saying that she's lost Claire and she's lost Ray, and obviously she left one to be with the other, and then she's come here and then she hasn't got it, and it's devastating. It actually is gutting, you know, if you think about it from her, she lost her husband, but most importantly, she's lost a kid, which is definitely devastating. I know Five's saying, you know, this is our timeline, just move on. You can't. You actually can't move on. She's suffering, and now she's going into a bar with Diego to kind of like release her anger. She's hoping to go in there and have a good scrap and kick a few heads. So it's going to be interesting to see that next episode. You know, I hope we don't brush past that and we just see them coming out, you know, like blood and bruised, you know, wiping the face down. Well, I'll see a bit of action. It's going to be decent. Now, obviously, like we've been told, basically what is actually happening is the end of the world pretty much. We knew that, and instead of it expanding, it's caving, it's collapsing in on itself, it's sucking everything in. Now it turns out that which is mad, that 5 is the person that founded the commission. So as Lila was saying, she was laughing, no matter how many times you say you want to be part of it, you know, you want to be out, you want to retire, you're the person that's actually created it. You're the reason we're all here and taking part. That is funny, actually. It is funny, but it's interesting because he's just died in the future. Well, you know, the first one did. He's still alive here now. He started cutting him open as well. What is it that's in his chest? We don't know. I said that. Is that kind of the same tattoo that Klaus has? But then Klaus got shot of Stan, and then it just, my head just totally went. I was like, whoa, what the heck's going on there, mate? He's mad. So, I mean, loads of stuff went on this episode. Decent. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please smash the like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.